a 15-minute feel-good flow to use any time of day. A great way to start out and loosen up at the beginning of day, a wonderful pause midday, and an excellent way to settle into your body with a sense of spaciousness, strength, and ease for the evening or before.
Lift the arms high overhead and just take a little slide to the side as if you're sliding your back along the wall. And as you come back upright, pull the belly in. So it makes you use your core. Exhale outward, inhale, pull the belly back and rise. Exhale outward, pull the belly back and rise. Release the hands to the heart. Checking out that your feet are hip width apart, just right underneath your hips. Take a moment to lift the heel of the right foot, coming up to the toe and rolling around the outer perimeter of your entire foot. So you're going from your big toe to your pinky to the outer right heel, inner right heel, arch to big toe. Drawing a nice big circle that radiates into your ankle, your knee, and your hip. And then just reverse that circle for a few rounds, spreading the toes out so you're trying to expand your footprints and build nice roots in that foot as you release down. And switch to the other side. So we're just rolling from inner to outer, front to back, softening ankle, knee, and hip. And then reversing to the other direction for a few more times. As you stand tall, again checking that your feet are right underneath your hips, extend your toes wide and just rock to your toes, back to your heels, to the right and to the left. Imagine you've got hula hoops around your knees, around your waist, and around your rib cage, so that as you circle, you are really waking up your legs and your hips and your belly core. And it's actually drawing in toward your body, toward your bones, that creates this strength and stability. Excellent. So some hip, some feet, some rib cage and shoulder circles brings us to readiness for a sun salute warm-up flow. We'll begin by reaching high and exhaling, just coming down gently to the knees. We'll inhale and make a cow shape and exhale cat. Take a few more of those, holding the tops of your knees so the butt pops out and broadens the low back, and then zip the belly in like you're pulling on some tight pants with your exhales. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. One more time, inhale, cow. As you zip your belly in and make a cat shape, let your head and arms hang down so you can roll toward the floor. From here, some nice arm circles, rolling the hands outward and inward. If your shoulders have been especially tight or the rotator cuff is tender lately, hold a heavy can, like a canned food or a 1 pound hand weight. You can circle your hands in the other direction just to create some space there. Beautiful. From here, we'll inhale, touch the front of the knees or shins, and then exhale, roll back up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale to pull belly in and rise to center. Exhale to the other side. And then we'll come back down again, hands to heart, hands to knees. Exhale. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, rise like a rag doll, unrolling your spine. Let's try that one more time. Reaching up, take your side bend right, pull back to center, side bend left, pull back to center. Come back down onto your knees. Inhale, look up. Exhale, cat shape. Instead of rolling up this time, we're going to walk forward, just like a bear, crawling forward to the front of the mat.
We're gonna hold a nice high board here, or plank, so the front of the body feels really nice and firm and the shoulders are right over the wrists. If it's painful to be on your palms, you can come up onto your fists. At any point, you can release your knees down, maybe shake out your hands, just checking in, how do the wrists feel today? In any case, after a couple breaths, we'll drop the knees down, draw the elbows in, and come onto the belly. Inhale into the floor, and exhale, pull your belly back from the floor as if there was a little P under your navel. You're trying not to crush it. Inhale, expand. And with your exhalation, come on up, contracting the belly toward the spine and just floating your hands and your head. Beautiful. Come down onto the left cheek. We'll try it 2 more times. Breathing cobra. Inhale, rise up, squeeze in. Sometimes it feels good to do little figure 8s with your shoulders. Exhale, release out, right cheek. 1 more time. Inhale, reach up, strengthening the back body. It's like you're pulling a string from the back of your shoulders all the way to your tail. Then making sure your knees are wide at the outer edges of your mat. Draw your toes together and push back to child's pose, resting your forehead on the mat, extending your arms long. Take a few breaths here. Feel that space opening under your palms, your arms all the way back to your rib cage. Breathe into that space. Just notice where you can take your breath here. And then we'll exhale and move the left hand out any amount, bringing the right hand on top of it for a breath. Just to create a little space on the right side ribs. A breath or 2. And then going to the other side. Right hand reaches right, left hand on top. On an exhalation, engage your belly, lift it toward the spine, and rise up into your cat shape. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, and walk your hands backwards. Find the fronts of your knees or shins to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, cat, rising all the way up. Inhale, reach for the ceiling, and take a side bend right and left. With your exhalation, you'll come back down the way you came up, hands to knees. Inhale, exhale, pour down like a waterfall. Walk your hands out, high board. Take a breath or 2. Drop your knees anytime that you need to. If you want, you can even add in a little inhale down, exhale, push up to tone your arms. We're going to come all the way down to the belly on an exhalation, and this time we're going to reach the arms back with the inhalation, reaching all the way toward the toes. As you exhale, hands beneath shoulders, knees wide to the outer edges of the mat, toes together. Come back to child's pose. 2 breaths. Relax the forehead. With the armpits elevated, feel that extension and that space in your arms extending to your side ribs. On an exhalation, rise up to your cat shape. Inhale, cow. Tuck your toes under. Walk your hands back. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. Find your shins or your knees. Inhale. And as you exhale, create that cat shape to rise all the way up. Inhale to reach to the sky. Exhale to the heart. 1 more round. Inhale up, side bend right. Exhale to center. Side bend left. Pull the belly in. Take the hands down to the heart. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. With the belly pulled up toward the ceiling as if there was a big strap there holding you as you slowly lower. Inhale, walk the hands to the front of the mat. With knees lifted or lowered, option to add in a little push up or 2. Doesn't have to be too deep, just enough
to get those arms working. Come on to the belly. And this time we're gonna lift the legs too. Head and arms, reaching back, squeezing everything in. Really juicy squeeze to wake up and strengthen those muscles. And then release, knees wide, hands beneath your shoulders. Come back to your child's pose for a couple breaths. Let it all go. Just noting where you can take the breath, that space that you're creating. On an exhalation, we'll rise up. This time, we're gonna sit nice and tall. If you had a friend or partner to do this back stretch, that would be wonderful. You'd sit back to back with your hips right up against each other in the low back area especially. But I'm going to use my bed. So I'm drawing my hips back, slightly back underneath a straight line from where the mattress comes down, and rolling the shoulders forward. Another option is to add in a mat between your shoulder blades so that as you sit tall, you can really lengthen your back up into this mat and roll the shoulders back. I'm actually really physically pushing with my exhalations to lengthen the front of the heart and sit taller. This is bringing flexibility and strength into the spine for better posture. Now with the exhalations, I'll just walk gently forward any amount. And then as I inhale, rise up, sending the heart forward. So you can see I'm gently undulating the spine. Exhaling, releasing the head. Inhale, rising up through the back of the heart, sending the heart forward, rolling the shoulders back. This will take that hump out of the back. One more round or two, whatever feels good. Releasing toward the floor. You notice you can get lower with each exhale. And you can pause there for a breath or two. And then we'll rise up and push into the back of the heart. Feel free to pause this session anytime, this little video, so you can get more out of it and stay as long as you would like. That's a nice warm up for the spine. We're going to come down to the floor. With the fingertips just touching the heels, knees straight up, and feet hip width apart. I'm going to move my arms out of the way so that you can see. With the inhalation, the rib cage inflates, and there's this little space like a matchbox car under the kidneys. As you exhale, we're going to rock that down into the floor, buttoning the belly back and engaging your core. When you touch your tummy, it should feel nice and firm. Inhale to stretch the tummy, lift the heart, roll the shoulder blades and the tail into the floor, and then exhale, you feel that contraction, that buttoning in. Just rock the spine a couple more times, drawing it down to the floor. And with that in place, hover the knees. If you have a block, a yoga block, this is where it's great to put it between the knees and give that block a little squeeze to further engage the core. It's not essential. You could also use a rolled towel or a pillow. What we're going to do is inhale down and tap the floor, and that's when the back, mid-back lifts away. And with the exhalation, pick the feet up and engage the core. And try that 5 times. Inhaling to lower. Squeeze the block in, lift the knees up. This is toning your belly. This is also a really important back strengthening exercise because the stronger the belly is, the more released the back is. Inhale, lower toes, kidneys move away. Exhale, pull the belly back, lift the knees up. One more time, lifting all the way up. Wonderful. Now we'll remove the block and set it to the side. Raise your hands so they're hovering along the floor and your head. Bring the knees a little closer to the belly. Wag the hips to the left. Reach the left hand to the end of the mat and the knees go right to engage your side core, or quadratus lumborum. Inhale through center. Extend the hips to the right. Reach the hands to the end of the mat and engage that QL on the right side. You can try each side a couple more times Nice, firm engagement. And then hold the front of the knees and release your head back. It's great to strengthen the neck when you lift it like that, but it might not feel good, in which case you can always rest it on the floor. In any case, it's very important to rock the head from side to side and just release the neck. So let the left cheek come down toward the side and take a breath or two. And then let the right cheek come to the right and take a breath or two. And then come back to center. Now we'll just do some nice bridge lifts to strengthen the quads, stretch the belly, and engage the glutes. As you inhale, take the arms overhead, squeezing into your seat. The hands hover. They don't touch the floor, they're just parallel to your ears. And as you exhale, you're going to push the air away, flex out through the palms to stretch and strengthen the wrists and the carpal tunnel. Release the hands to the floor. Inhale, hips lift up. Squeeze. If you like, you can use that block between your knees to find even deeper engagement. And exhale. Release the hips to the floor. Try that a few more times. Finding that nice, strong core engagement, which in this position really means, like many others, muscles are just reaching into the bones, creating alignment all the way from your shins and your thighs to your hip bones, rib cage, and arm bones. Inhale, rise, squeeze, and exhale, press the vertebrae down into the floor to warm it up. Really nice. Now reach for the back of your knees. There's lots of nice little variations that you can do here to stretch out your glutes. You can place the left knee ankle on top of the knee and thread the needle, reaching to the front or just behind the right knee for a couple breaths. And a nice big stretch in that left seat. And then what I like to do is open the arms wide and just lower the knees down to the right. You can use a block under the inner right knee so that you're not overstretching. You're actually just relaxing that knee down to the floor. 5 breaths here is really nice to soften your skin, to really sink into your back body, and to really lengthen your sides. With the knees still in that position, you can lift all the way up. And then we'll switch. Right ankle on left knee, reach to the back of the knee or to the front, squeeze it in and get a nice stretch for your gluteal muscles on the right side. You might also enjoy how it feels to have your lower back supported, really pushing down in toward the floor. Breathe and soften your skin. Are your arms really tugging? Where can you relax and create more spaciousness, more ease? Gently release that left foot down. If your block is handy, you can take it across the body on the left side and just rest the right knee into it, elevating that block to whatever height feels good so that the back of the sacrum doesn't feel like it's overextending with the weight of that right knee going to the left. And then look right for a few breaths, releasing the neck and creating some nice spaciousness there. Notice that you're clenching anywhere in your hips, your knees, or your seat. Try to relax. Maybe just the left arm can do the work of holding that right knee across the body. And then gently tuck that right knee into your chest. Extend the left leg. Option to pick up your head and float that left leg. If it feels better to just release all the way down, go ahead and do that. Check in. What's your body telling you today? Let's switch sides. With the leg hovering, that's extended, you're engaging your core. When you release down, you're lengthening it. Both things are really important. You can also create even more ease by releasing the left hand on top of the left hip flexor that's just below the hip bone when the right hand is holding the right knee in and switching. Wonderful. Now we're just going to roll from shoulders to your seat, rocking back and forth, not going to your head, just to the space behind your heart and up to your seat. If you can hold your ankles and do it more like a Pilates roll, hovering your feet as you rock, that's an option to just keep that core engaged. And then we'll come all the way up and sit nice and tall for some twists. Let's begin by extending that left leg out, reaching the right hand inside the right arm. Back of the elbow will push on the inner right knee, left hand behind you. Roll your shoulders back as you sit tall. Initially, you might look out to the left, but we don't want to crane the neck. We really want to find spaciousness across the heart. Relax the chin down, level or parallel to the floor, and just have the gaze right over the heart. But notice if a little movement feels good side to side as you push that right shoulder back into or right elbow back into the inner right knee, and the knee pushes against it. So that can be like the fulcrum of your twist as you sit tall to lengthen that spine. It's a great thing to do after that nice sitting up against the bed where I was opening the spine. And I'm going to turn toward that knee, gather it with the left elbow, reach behind, and notice how that right arm is real close, like the back of the chair, so I can send my heart and shoulder into it as I turn to the right for a couple breaths. Again, a little movement in the neck might remind you to release any tension in the neck. And then we'll switch sides. Left knee in, and I'm just going to turn so that you can see how with this open twist, I'm just using the back of that left elbow, lower shoulder out on the inside of the knee, and the knee is pushing into the hand, it's resisting. I'm leaning into the back of the right arm like a chair and having a really nice posture that lifts the heart so the whole front body feels lifted and the back body is drawing down toward the floor like a waterfall. After initially opening my neck, looking side to side, the gaze can just settle straight ahead over the heart for a few breaths. And then we'll turn toward that left knee and reach behind. Pull the belly in, pull it away from the left thigh, so you're really using your core as you look left and right, and then float your gaze over the heart for a few breaths. And then we will relax the legs, shake them out, and take the arms up to sit nice and tall. We're doing this to drain the lymph. It's like a massage, really great for the whole immune system. Reaching up there, maybe it feels good to shake the hands out or interlace the fingers and stretch the palms to the sky. You could also switch your hands after a couple breaths just to really open up the wrists, stretch and send the heart forward, sitting really tall. Excellent. Then release the arms down and enjoy that nice flood of circulation. To conclude this short and yummy practice, we're going to take a rolled mat or a firm pillow, not too wide. It could also just be a few towels or blankets rolled really firmly together right at the base of the spine, up close so there's no space, and I'm completely supporting my back as I come down onto my spine. The shoulders wrap around it and tuck underneath the body, palms up. And I'm just going to take at least a minute here. 10 really nice relaxing breaths, rolling the feet wide, and just sinking into the back body to open the rib cage and open the heart. This is a wonderful posture, recovery position. It's restorative to the spine. It brings more flexibility into the spine. And you know, that posture is as much about keeping these upper chest muscles open, wide, and long as it is about strengthening the back body by sitting tall, as we just were in Dandasana, with arms overhead briefly, or with your back moving against a wall. So those create strength, but we also need length. So we'll stay here, just observing this body and any thoughts as a landscape might observe weather or the sky observes the land below. Not attaching to it, but certainly acknowledging it. And after a minute or so, you can lift your knees and let them rest in. Enjoy that support to your spine. You can stay on the bolster or roll mat if that feels good, or release it out to the side for just one more little hip opener. The knees are lifted, and we're going to rock them down like windshield wipers, right knee to left ankle on the exhale. Inhale to lift that right knee. Excuse me. And left knee to right ankle with the exhale. Inhale, knees wide and open. Exhale, stretch down. Feel that nice stretch in your outer hip, your glute, even the IT band, which is running down the thigh. Nice opener as you press that knee to the floor. Maybe a couple more rounds just to relax everything. Feel nice and open. And then bring one foot toward the other. And I always suggest taking turns which side you come up on. Shift the hips to the outer edge and rock in to your arm like a little pillow. Just take a moment to check in. Noticing all that space, that ease and openness you've created like a great big lake. And holding that lake-like calm, confident that is part of you. And they won't spill a drop of it. Rise up to a comfortable seat. Any seat that's comfortable for you. Lifting your heart and relaxing your hands on top of your knees. Just take a moment to create a dedication for this practice. You can do this dedication at the beginning or end, but since we're ending seated, I'm going to do this here. And just bring my hands together at the heart. There's a little space between the palms. You can call that the space for change, space for light, space for warmth, space for love. And sealing your practice, take a little bow. Namaste. Thank you.